The Donald Trump story, the man who would not be defeated. In the history of the United States, there has never been a figure quite like him. To some, he is a hero, a savior of the American dream. To others, he is a villain, a disruptor of democracy. But love him or hate him, there is one truth that no one can deny. You cannot ignore Donald J. Trump. He started as a boy from Queens with a dream to conquer the skyline of Manhattan. He became a billionaire real estate mogul who plastered his name in gold across the world. He became a reality TV star who entered our living rooms every week. And then, against all odds, he became the 45th president of the United States. But the story didn't end there. After a crushing defeat in 2020, facing lawsuits, indictments, and a mugshot that went viral around the globe, the world wrote him off. They said he was finished. But in November 2024, he pulled off the greatest political comeback in history, defeating Kamala Harris to become the 47th president. How did he do it? What drives a man who has everything to risk it all for power? Today on FameFlash, we are going back to the very beginning. This is not just politics. This is the story of ambition, survival, and the relentless will to win. This is the full life story of Donald Trump. The boy from Queens, 1946 to 1970s. Our story begins on June 14, 1946, at Jamaica Hospital in Queens, New York. Donald John Trump was the fourth of 5 children born to Fred and Mary Ann Trump. Now, to understand Donald, you have to understand his father, Fred Trump. Fred was a tough, no-nonsense real estate developer who built affordable housing for the middle class. He was strict. He believed in one thing above all else: winning. Fred taught his children to be killers, not literally, but in business. He told them, "You are a king, you are a killer." Donald was a handful from the start. He was energetic, aggressive, and sometimes a troublemaker. In fact, he was so rebellious that at age 13, his father shipped him off to the New York Military Academy. This was the turning point. The academy wasn't a playground, it was a place of discipline. Donald later said that the military school gave him more training militarily than a lot of the guys that go into the military. He learned how to lead, he learned how to be tough, and most importantly, he learned that people respect strength. After graduating from the Wharton School of Finance, Donald joined his father's business. But while Fred was happy building apartments in Brooklyn and Queens, Donald looked across the river. He saw the shimmering skyline of Manhattan. He didn't just want to build houses, he wanted monuments. He wanted the world to know his name. The King of New York, 1970s to 1980s. It was the 1970s. New York City was broke, dangerous, and dirty. Most developers were running away. But Donald Trump, he ran towards the fire. He saw opportunity where others saw ruin. His first big gamble was the crumbling Commodore Hotel near Grand Central Station. He took a massive risk, convinced the city to give him tax breaks, and transformed it into the shiny Grand Hyatt. It was a massive success. Donald Trump had arrived. But he didn't stop there. He wanted a crown jewel. In 1983, he built Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue. This wasn't just a building, it was a statement. 68 stories of glass and bronze. Inside, it was covered in Italian marble and gold. He lived in the penthouse, literally looking down on the world he was conquering. During this time, he married Ivana Trump, a glamorous model from Czechoslovakia. Together, they became the ultimate power couple of the 80s. He bought a yacht, a football team, an airline, and the Plaza Hotel. In 1987, he released his book, The Art of the Deal. It became a Bible for business. Donald Trump wasn't just a rich man anymore, he was a celebrity. He was the symbol of the American dream in the roaring 80s. He felt invincible. The crash, 1990 to 1999. But gravity always wins. In the early 90s, the economy crashed and Donald's empire started to crack. He had borrowed billions of dollars to build casinos in Atlantic City, specifically the massive Taj Mahal. He called it the eighth wonder of the world. But the casino couldn't pay its bills. Suddenly, the man who owned everything owed the banks nearly $4 billion. He was on the brink of personal bankruptcy. He famously pointed to a homeless man on the street and told his daughter Ivanka, "That man has more money than me." To make matters worse, his personal life exploded. His marriage to Ivana ended in a messy public divorce after his affair with Marla Maples made headlines everywhere. The tabloids ate him alive. The business world laughed at him. They said Donald Trump is finished. But they forgot one thing. Fred Trump raised a killer. Donald fought back. He made deals with the banks, he sold the yacht, he sold the airline. He worked 20 hours a day. Slowly, painfully, he clawed his way back from the dead. He didn't just survive, he prepared for his next act. The reality star, 2000 to 2015. By the year 2000, Trump was back in business, but he realized that his most valuable asset wasn't a building, it was his name. He started putting Trump on everything: steaks, vodka, water, ties, and golf courses. But the biggest game changer happened in 2004. TV producer Mark Burnett approached him with an idea for a reality show. It was called The Apprentice. Donald accepted. The show was a monster hit. Every week, millions of Americans watched Donald Trump sit in a boardroom, commanding respect and delivering the most famous catchphrase in TV history: "You're fired." This show changed everything. To the new generation, he wasn't the guy who almost went broke in the 90s. He was the ultimate boss, the genius billionaire who knew how to run things. During this time, he found stability in his personal life too, marrying the Slovenian model Melania Knaus in 2005. He was a Hollywood star, he was loved, he was mainstream. But deep down, Donald was looking at a bigger stage, the biggest stage on Earth. The political earthquake, 2015 to 2016. June 16, 2015, Donald Trump descended the golden escalator at Trump Tower and announced he was running for president. At first, everyone laughed. The media called it a publicity stunt. They said he had a 1% chance of winning. But they didn't understand the mood of the country. Trump didn't speak like a politician. He spoke like a brawler. He gave the people a slogan that would go down in history: "Make America Great Again." He used Twitter like a weapon, bypassing the news and speaking directly to the people. One by one, he knocked out 16 Republican rivals. Then came the general election against Hillary Clinton. The polls said he would lose, the experts said he would lose. But on November 8, 2016, the world stopped. State after state turned red. Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, the impossible happened. The billionaire outsider had just hijacked the American political system. Donald Trump was the 45th president of the United States. His presidency was unlike anything America had ever seen. It was a daily roller coaster. He cut taxes, he appointed conservative judges, he met with North Korea's dictator. He started a trade war with China. The economy boomed, but the country was divided. He faced investigations, protests, and even an impeachment trial. But he survived it all. He looked unstoppable for re-election in 2020. And then the world stopped. COVID-19 hit. The economy shut down. The country was in fear. The pandemic changed the political landscape overnight. And in November 2020, amidst controversy and chaos, Joe Biden was declared the winner. But Donald Trump refused to accept defeat. And that led to the darkest day, January 6th. The Fall and the Mugshot, 2021 to 2023. Leaving the White House in 2021, Trump looked like a man in exile. His social media was banned, his businesses were under investigation. Then came the indictments. He was charged with crimes in New York, Florida, Georgia, and D.C. In August 2023, he surrendered at a jail in Georgia. The authorities took his mugshot. They wanted to humiliate him. But Trump did what he always does. He flipped the script. He looked into the camera with a scowl of defiance. That photo didn't end his career, it restarted it. He put it on t-shirts and mugs. He turned a criminal record into a badge of honor. He was wounded, but he was still standing. The Resurrection, 2024 to 2025. The 2024 campaign was a war. Trump wasn't just running for president, he was running for his freedom. But the moment that defined history happened on July 13th in Butler, Pennsylvania. An assassin's bullet grazed his ear, coming millimeters from ending his life. Blood streaming down his face, Secret Service on top of him, Trump stood up. He raised his fist and shouted, "Fight, fight, fight." In that moment, the election was effectively over. The image of a defiant Trump became iconic. In November 2024, he defeated Kamala Harris in a landslide, winning the popular vote and the Electoral College. He had done the impossible. He became